Welcome all of you for today's session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from the book Sri Ishopanishad, the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by His Divine Grace, Vishwaguru Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mantra 15. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam poshanna pavrano satya dharmaya drishtaye. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. We will read from the point where we left yesterday. One of the childhood play between the Lord and his playmates, the cowherd boys, Shukadev Goswami says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, verse 11. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijahru kritat punya punjah. The personality of Godhead, who is perceived as the impersonal, blissful Brahman by the Jnanis, who is worshipped as the Supreme Lord by devotees in the mood of servitorship, and who is considered an ordinary human being by mundane people, played with the cowherd boys who had attained their position after accumulating many pious activities. Thus, the Lord is always engaged in transcendental loving activities with his spiritual associates in the various relationships of Shanta or neutrality, Dasya or servitorship, Sakhya or friendship, Vatsalya or parental affection, and Madhurya or conjugal love. Since it is said that Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavan Dham, one may ask how he manages the affairs of the creation. This is answered in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 14 to 18. The Lord pervades the entire material creation by his plenary part known as the Paramatma or Super Soul. Although the Lord personally has nothing to do with material creation, maintenance, and destruction, he causes all these things to be done by his plenary expansion, the Paramatma. Every living entity is known as Atma, soul, and the principal Atma who controls them all is Paramatma, the super soul. This system of God realization is a great science. The materialistic Sankhya yogis can only analyze and meditate on the 24 factors of the material creation, for they have very little information of the Purusha, the Lord. And the impersonal transcendentalists are simply bewildered by the glaring effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti. If one wants to see the absolute truth in full, one has to penetrate beyond the 24 material elements and the glaring effulgence as well. Sri Ishopanishad points towards this direction, praying for the removal of the Hiranyamaya Patra, the dazzling covering of the Lord. Unless this covering is removed, so one can perceive the real face of the personality of Godhead, factual realization of the absolute truth can never be achieved. The Paramatma feature of the personality of Godhead is one of the three plenary expansions or Vishnu Tattvas, collectively known as the Purusha Avataras. One of these Vishnu Tattvas, who is within the universe, is known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. He is the Vishnu among the three principal deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And he is the all pervading Paramatma in each and every individual living entity. The second Vishnu Tattva within the universe is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, the collective supersoul within all living entities. Beyond these two is Karanodakashayi Vishnu, who lies in the causal ocean. He is the creator of all universes. The yoga system teaches the serious student to meet the Vishnu Tattvas after going beyond the 24 material elements of the cosmic creation. The culture of empiric philosophy helps one realize the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, which is the glaring effulgence of the transcendental body of Lord Sri Krishna. That the Brahma Jyoti is Krishna's effulgence is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 27, as well as the Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 14. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotishvashesha vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalamanantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. In the millions and millions of universes, there are innumerable planets, and each and every one of them is different from the others by its cosmic constitution. All of these planets are situated in a corner of the Brahma Jyoti. The Brahma Jyoti is but the personal rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, whom I worship. This mantra from the Brahma Samhita is spoken from the platform of factual realization of the absolute truth. And the Shruti mantra of Sri Ishopanishad under discussion confirms this mantra as a process of realization. The Ishopanishad mantra is a simple prayer to the Lord to remove the Brahma Jyoti so that one can see his real face. This Brahma Jyoti effulgence is described in detail in several mantras in the Mundaka Upanishad 2.2.10 to 12. Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahma nishkalam tashubram jyotisham jyotihi tadyad atmavido viduhu na tatra suryo bhati na chandra na tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati brahmaivedam amritam purastad brahma paschad brahma dakshinataschottharena adhaschordhvam cha prasrutam brahmaihi vedam vishwam idam varishtham. The meaning of these mantras is, in the spiritual realm, beyond the material covering, is the unlimited Brahman effulgence, which is free from material contamination. That effulgent white light is understood by transcendentalists to be the light of all lights. In that realm, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity for illumination. Indeed, whatever illumination appears in the material world is only a reflection of that supreme illumination. That Brahman is in front and in back, in the north, south, east, and west, and also overhead and below. In other words, that supreme Brahman effulgence spreads throughout both the material and spiritual skies. Perfect knowledge means knowing Krishna as the root of this Brahman effulgence. We will continue to read the purport in the next session. Now we will discuss the points that we have read just now. So we have been discussing the mantra 15 of Ishopanishad from the last session. And this mantra is in the form of a prayer. A devotee is offering prayer to the Supreme Lord, saying, O maintainer of the entire existence, O sustainer, O sustainer of all that lives, O Lord, your face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself for your devotee to see you. So, this mantra, this prayer by the devotee, teaches us that the Supreme Absolute Truth is ultimately a person, and he is beyond the material cosmos and also beyond the Brahman effulgence. Yesterday we were talking about the three phases in which we can understand the absolute truth: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. We have discussed about this in yesterday's session. Now, what is this Brahman? Brahman is the light, the effulgence, which is emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord. And this light has been described in the Mundaka Upanishad and many other Upanishads as Tat Shubram Jyotisham Jyotihi. Shubram means completely pure, uncontaminated, light which is not mixed with any darkness. That light which is supremely pure, that is Shubram. And Jyotisham Jyotihi, that light which is coming from the body of the Supreme Lord, the Brahma Jyoti, is the ultimate source of all the lights that exist. So, in this material world, we see various sources of light. And the ultimate source of light in this material world or in this planet is the sunlight, the sun. But the Vedic scriptures say that even the sunlight has a source beyond the sun, and that is called the Brahman, the Brahma Jyoti, which is nothing but the bodily rays emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this light, it is pervading everywhere in the spiritual world. And all the Vaikuntha planets, they are suspended in this light. Just like in this solar system where we study about solar system in this world, in this universe, and we see all the planets are revolving around the sun at their own orbits, and all the planets receive different amounts of sunlight based on their distance from the sun. In other words, the sunlight, the sun's energy is the source of energy and activity on all the planets in the solar system. In the same way, there are innumerable planets in the spiritual world called Vaikuntha Lokas, which are all spiritual planets or anti-material planets. And all those anti-material worlds are receiving, are sustained by the effulgence emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord, and that energy is called Brahma Jyoti or Brahman. So, Brahman or Brahma Jyoti is not the ultimate absolute truth. Brahma Jyoti is emanating from a source. That means Brahma Jyoti cannot be the ultimate absolute truth. That means it is also having a source. The light is also having a source, correct? And that source is described in the Brahma Samhita in the 5th chapter, shloka number 40 that we read in the purport. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotishvashesha vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalam anantam ashesha bhutam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Lord Brahma is offering his prayer here, saying that this Brahma Jyoti, which is pervading the entire existence, is nothing but the personal rays emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord Govinda. And I meditate on that Govinda. This is what Lord Brahma is saying in this verse. That means Govinda, Krishna, is the original source of the Brahma Jyoti. So many times we have an understanding that God is simply some light. He is a light. Yes, God is light, but God is more than that light. God is also the source of that supreme light. God is a person from whom this light is emanating. Now, many a times we have this understanding. Uh, People, especially many people, have this understanding. How can God be a person? How can he be a person? Right? Because the moment we think God is a person, we think he has become limited. Because we have all come across limited people in this world, and they say, oh, don't give a form to God. The moment you say God has a form, that means you are limiting his position. God is energy, God is light, they say like this. But is this correct as per the Vedic version? No. As we saw various evidences from the Mundaka Upanishad, from the Ishopanishad, this particular mantra which we are discussing, and from Brahma Samhita, from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, various evidences have been quoted here by Srila Prabhupada to prove that God is ultimately a person. He is a loving person. I'll tell you one short story. Once there was a young man, he was a great fan of a musician, of a singer. He was a very great singer, and this young man happened to be his fan. So, fan means what he would do? He would always hear to the songs sung by this his favorite singer. So whenever new album of this singer was released, he would immediately go and purchase it. He would download it online, and he would make sure that he would hear it. He relished hearing his songs, and also he would also download his images from the internet, take big printouts of that image, and he would post it everywhere on his room, in the walls, on the walls. You know, many people do that, right? Whenever you become a fan of some cricket star or a movie star or a singer, you want to see him, you want to take inspiration from him. So a lot of people take their photos and put it on the walls, and they keep seeing, right? So this young man, this fan also, he was always, admiring, seeing that singer. In many poses he had taken his photos and he had put on the wall, and he would always hear the songs sung by his favorite singer. Now one day it so happened that one of his friends, this young man's friend, came and told, see, very nice that you are a fan of this great singer, but what if you can actually meet this singer today? What if actually you can meet and see him face to face, and probably take a selfie with him? Now this person was he was he was like on cloud nine. Oh, is it true that my favorite singer, whose songs I was hearing every day, whose pictures I have taken and put all over in my room, has he come to this place? Has he come to our town? Yes, yes, he's performing a concert this night in such and such a place, and I have got two tickets. I've got two tickets. So let us go and participate in the concert. And I knew that you are his great fan, and that's why I have got a ticket for you also. Shall we go? Now, this person said, yeah, it will be nice. I want to go and see him. Uh, but do you think really I can talk to him? Do you think really I can have a selfie with him? Every day I have been hearing his songs, and I'm thrilled just by the news that he has come to our town, and I can't imagine that I'll be able to see him. So this friend said, "Yeah, every day you are thinking about him, you are hearing his songs, and you are seeing his photos. Today, let us go and try to meet him face to face. Come, let's go. And finally, this fan went to the concert. He enjoyed the concert thoroughly. He was able to see live, he was able to see his star singer in front of him on the stage. And after the performance was over, he somehow got an opportunity to go to the back door, I mean, to the backstage. And there he was able to meet his favorite singer face to face. And he said, my life has become successful today because your songs, the moment new albums are released, your songs, I never miss. I always watch it, I always hear it. And it was my lifetime dream to see you face to face. So it was like a goosebumps moment for this fan, for this young man. And after meeting him and after taking a selfie with him, he got a very few seconds, few minutes to interact with him probably. And then he came out of the venue and he thanked his friend so much. My dear friend, it's because of you that I was able to see my favorite singer face to face, take autograph from him, take a selfie from him. I'm so indebted to you. So this is a story. Now we can relate with this story with the present context that we are discussing. See, the Supreme Lord, he is present everywhere in this entire cosmos in the form of his energies, right? The sun, the light that the sun is giving us, the ultimate source is the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the food that we are eating, that is not manufactured in any man-made industry or factory, it is actually a product of nature, and that nature is working under the guidance of Krishna. That means the food that we are eating is sent by Krishna every day. The air that we are breathing, that is coming from Krishna. The water that we are drinking, that is coming from Krishna. Everything that we are seeing around us, it is energy of Krishna. It is a manifestation of Krishna. But even though every day we are associating with the energies of Krishna, we are not able to see him face to face currently. It's not very easy. Just to meet a great, you know, rock star or a cinema star, you need certain certain people who can probably influence and take you near him and give you an opportunity to meet him face to face, right? Just to speak what to speak about the Supreme Lord, who is the ultimate controller of the entire cosmos. You need somebody to take you there to him. And that friend in the story, the friend who actually took this person, the fan, the young man, to his favorite singer, he is none other than, in our case, he is the spiritual master in this context. It is the spiritual master who actually acts as a bridge, as a connection between the person in the material world, between the devotee and the Supreme Lord Krishna. And the spiritual master, he has realized Krishna. He has a personal relationship with Krishna. He has a personal loving relationship with Krishna. He's a confidential servant of Krishna. And if he gives us access, if he gives us information about the Lord, about the personality, about his qualities, about his name, about his activities, and he will say, I will take you to him. I will arrange for a one-to-one meeting with you, with Krishna. Only then we can realize Krishna. Otherwise, we are associating with Krishna in the form of his energy. Brahman is pervading everywhere. But to meet that personality of Godhead face to face, that is the highest realization of the absolute truth. And that is possible only when we come in touch with a pure devotee spiritual master. Now, since not everybody comes in touch with a pure devotee spiritual master, they are satisfied by just the Brahman realization. Just by thinking that God is present everywhere, He is light, He is energy, only that much understanding, that much realization generally people have. But only when we come in touch with a pure devotee who has access to the person of Krishna, we can understand, we can begin to understand Krishna, his personality. So, God is a person, but he is an unlimited personality that we have to understand. It's not a fact that because we are thinking God is a person, we are limiting his position. No, this material world is filled with limited personalities, but the Lord is not one among the limited personalities inhabiting this material world. He is an unlimited personality. And 5,000 years ago, when Lord Krishna appeared in this planet, he demonstrated the unlimitedness of his personality. For instance, when we all know this very special incident when the Pandavas were in the forest and Draupadi, along with Draupadi, they were all in the forest. Now, Durvasa Muni came to visit them, and even though they had Akshaya Patra, the condition was that once Draupadi completes her meal, they could not draw any food from Akshaya Patra until the next day. So Draupadi had already taken her meal that day. And that time Durvasa Muni came there along with his hundreds of disciples and said, please arrange for our lunch. We will go to Yamuna and take a bath and come back. Now it was a very great, difficult circumstance. If if Durvasa Muni becomes angry, then curse will be at the tip of his tongue. Now what to do? Draupadi had already taken her meal. At that time, the Pandavas remembered Krishna. Krishna was in Dwaraka. Now, the moment the Pandavas remembered Krishna, Krishna immediately appeared there. He appeared in his original form. Not that he sent somebody, not that he simply appeared, only his voice was there. No, he appeared as he is in his original form. Now, this is an example for the limitlessness of Krishna's personality. He was present simultaneously in Dwaraka and he also appeared here among the Pandavas and he asked, what do you want? Why have you called me? Why have you remembered me? And they explained the situation. And Krishna said, my dear Draupadi, go and get the vessel. I think you're not cleaned the vessel properly. There must be some food particles there. So when Draupadi brought that, and there was one particle of grain, food grain remaining, and Krishna ate that. Krishna accepted that one particle of Shaka Anna, right? And the moment he ate, what happened? The entire creation became completely satisfied. All that sages, along with Durvasa Muni who had come, his disciples, they were all taking bath in the Yamuna river. They all felt as though they had a heavy feast. And they said, we are feeling that we have taken a heavy feast and we cannot take any food anymore. If we go to Yudhishthir Maharaja's place, he will force us to eat. And I'm sure we will not be able to eat anything. Let us go away from this place. So Durvasa Muni and all his disciples had to go away from that place without actually coming and troubling the Pandavas. Now, this is an example for the Lord's being a person, an unlimited person. This is very beautiful, isn't it? That's why Krishna is called Apad Bandhava. He is the person who actually is remembered by his devotees always, especially at the time of difficulties. When difficulty is there, first person that a devotee remembers is Krishna. And Krishna is always there to protect his devotees because Krishna has no limitations of time and space. He is an eternal, unlimited personality. And with that unlimited personality, we can have a loving relationship. Like the Pandavas, we can have a loving relationship. How? By following the instructions of a pure devotee. By following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, we can actually enter into a loving relationship with Krishna. Because Prabhupada has access to Krishna, and if we become obedient to Prabhupada, his instructions, then Prabhupada can take us to Krishna. This is the principle. Otherwise, without the intervention of a pure devotee spiritual master, we can only access up to the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. We can only appreciate that Lord is present everywhere in the form of light, in the form of energy. But if you want to meet the Lord face to face, then we need the help of a pure devotee spiritual master who has access to Krishna, who is a confidential servitor of Krishna. So, this is the principle behind the acceptance of a bona fide guru. In Krishna consciousness process, the first thing that we are supposed to do is Adav Guru Ashrayaha. We have to take ashraya or shelter of a bona fide guru. And this bona fide guru should be a pure devotee of the Lord, coming in the parampara system, starting from Krishna himself. And he must have a confidential relationship with Krishna. And how do we know Srila Prabhupada is such a confidential servant of the Lord? It is explained, it is revealed in the scriptures. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahitara Pravartana. Without one, without being a personal servant of Krishna, a confidential devotee of Krishna, one cannot spread the holy name of the Lord all over the world. This is one of the important qualities of a pure devotee who has a personal relationship with Krishna. And we know Srila Prabhupada traveled all over the world and he spread the holy name of the Lord. Even to those who had no understanding about who is Krishna or what is Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada inspired them to take up this process of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. This is one of the glories of a pure devotee spiritual master. Because he has a confidential relationship with Krishna, on the order of Krishna, he comes to this material world with this mission of making more people Krishna conscious and taking them back to Krishna. This is the mission of a pure devotee in this material world. So when we become obedient, when we accept such a bona fide spiritual master in our lives, accepting Guru means what? Following his instructions very seriously and sincerely. When we do that, we also can get personal access to Krishna through the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. So, God is not simply light, He is a person, and it requires the guidance and the intervention of a pure devotee acharya to make us understand that God is a person and to get us access to that supreme person. So this is what we are understanding from this part of the purport of Sri Ishopanishad. So God is not simply some light, He is the ultimate source of all light. He is a loving person. And human life is actually meant to develop our loving relationship with Krishna, which we have forgotten right now. And simply through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we can actually enter into a loving relationship with Krishna. And I'm sure all of us want to enter into a loving relationship with Krishna, isn't it? Can I see a show of hands? How many of you want to enter into a loving relationship with Krishna? Okay, some hearts and okay, so many people, everybody. So then what you should do is simply follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra very sincerely and seriously. It's the easiest way to attain God realization, self realization in this Kali Yuga. So, therefore, I request all of you, please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and read Srila Prabhupada's books and take the association of devotees. Every day, we are having this Ishopanishad session at 8:30 p.m. I request all of you to please join and understand more about Krishna and about the process of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much for your valuable time. In a short while, we will be chanting the verses from the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I request you to please stay tuned and thank you all for joining Ishopanishad session. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Generally. Thank you,
Hare
bro.
Krishna.